Tipping culture has gotten out of control. What started as a simple way to show appreciation for good service has now become an expectation at nearly every turn, whether you're grabbing coffee, ordering takeout, or even paying at self-checkout. The pressure, the guilt, and the awkwardness at every card reader screen have left people frustrated and wondering if tipping has gone too far. In today's video, we're taking a look at some of the funniest, most frustrating, and most unbelievable clips that perfectly capture just how ridiculous tipping culture has become. From outrageous requests to everyday situations that make you say, "Wait, why am I tipping for this?" These clips highlight the chaos we all feel when that tip screen pops up.
I'm not sure what the has happened, but I went into a sandwich shop and I went up to the window, ordered the sandwich I wanted, which was a pre-built menu. It wasn't like I went down the line and you built the sandwich for me in front of me. I ordered and I got a drink and I went to pay for it, which I picked up at a different window. And I went to go pay and I pressed no on a tip and the transaction went through and she said, "You didn't tip me." I said, "I know. I know." And I was very kind, very polite, right? She said, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Well, I ordered a sandwich and I'm getting it to go. There was, I didn't feel like there was a tip needed." She goes, "Well, everybody tips us." And she goes, we're making your sandwich for you." And I said, "Isn't that what your hourly wage is for?" And I guess I was like dumbfounded just a little bit. And I still feel like I'm in shock and speechless just a little bit. But I am all for tips where it's deserved. Bartenders, servers, waitresses, your hairstylist sometimes, and however that works and you're part of if it's built or you go to whatever. I am all for leaving a tip when it's a service job that you have given me a service for and an appropriate tip. But all I did was walk to the window, order, and take it with me. Why should I have been felt guilty to not have left a tip on an $8 sandwich that was on your menu? I don't know. I gotta get over that one before I drive away.
I don't believe in tipping, and here's why. The other day I went to Shake Shack, placed my order on an iPad. I got absolutely no service, yet on the iPad, I got asked if I wanted to tip. And they had the audacity to start at 15, 18, or 20%. Or how about this one? I went to a bar, I bought a drink, and in my receipt has a tipping option at the bottom. But they sneakily put in a service charge right above the tipping option. So whether I want to or not, I have to tip either way. Why are they asking me to tip twice? And then there's Starbucks. So I ordered my drink, which is already like $5. And then they have the audacity to ask me to tip as well. As someone who's worked in the hospitality industry for over 5 years, I strongly believe that tipping is correlated with the service that you offer. If you're already getting paid and it's your job to take an order and hand over a coffee, why do you have to ask for a tip? I'm not against tipping in general. I appreciate when somebody goes out of their way to ask me how my meal was, and I reward that with a tip to thank them. But when I get asked for money and I get nothing in return, is that really on me?
Check it out, guys. This is how we pay here in America. You can see all the three options for tipping. 20% used to be the high end, 18% was okay service, and 15% was just, your baseline. But now they want 25%, which...
If you guys thought that was bad, look at this shit. 30% on the low end, mid-range 40% tip, and then 50% tip. These people are trying to charge us an extra half of the original price as tip. Now, this tipping culture is getting out of hand. Look, I'm all for tipping, except maybe when I'm going to pick up at a store. If I'm not sitting down in that store, I don't think there's any need to tip. Yeah, if you're sitting down at a store or you're getting food delivered to you, yeah, it's good to tip. Back in the day, 12 to 15% used to be like a really good tip. Now it's looking like you don't even have that options in some stores. Look at this. These restaurant owners are getting richer and richer while we as the customers, we have to pay the employees' salary. These corporations need to pay their employees a better salary and they should stop guilt-tripping us into paying salaries for them. What do you guys think of this crazy rise in tipping prices or tipping percentages at the moment?
I'm going to hit no tip every time. If I'm at Starbucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, or a place that you really not serving me, and you turn that little iPad around and it's going to ask you a little question, I'm going to look you dead in your face and I'm going to click no tip.
I'm literally at the airport at the self-checkout machine buying a water. Self-checkout. Who is this even going to? Like, I'm again at self-checkout.
I don't care what anyone says, and I know that people are going to disagree with me on this, but tipping culture is so freaking toxic. If you expect a specific amount for your service, include it in the price of your service. I have been an online fitness coach that has changed hundreds of people's lives, changed their lives. A service that you couldn't even pay enough money for to completely change your life. And have I ever once expected a tip for that? No, because that's not normal, right? You're paying for a service, an online coach, a doctor, a plumber, a mechanic. Do you tip? No. They have to go to just as much, if not more, schooling to get more education, and don't expect a tip. Yeah, I just had a massage appointment rejected because I didn't tip last time.
And just to make sure we're all in agreement, we are not tipping people who do to-go orders, right? And we're also not tipping drive-thru workers, and we are not tipping people who just place our order, right? Because I was at Bojangles the other day and they asked me for a tip. We're not doing that, right?
Okay, we honestly need to talk about tipping. This literally just happened to me. Maybe you guys could tell me what you would have done, but... So I decided to go to Starbucks this morning and get my boyfriend some stuff because I was feeling real nice. I get to the drive-thru window and the person, whoever's like, oh my gosh, like, good morning, how are you? What have you done this morning? You have any plans for today? Like, super nice. And then I order his stuff and then I get to the window and the person is still like, yeah, like, how's your day going? Like, super nice. And then they're like, okay, your total is 15, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, can I play the Apple Pay? Because I don't have a physical card on me right now. And they were like, yeah, sure. So I go to tap my phone and he was like, oh, it's gonna ask you a question. And it's asking me, do I want to leave a tip? Okay. I just ordered $15 worth of Starbucks at 8 a.m. Okay, also, I'm in the drive-thru. No, I'm not leaving a tip. So I smashed that no tip button. Immediately, the entire demeanor and personality of this person changes. He looks at me, goes, and then goes, you need to tap your card now. Excuse me? I'm sorry, because I didn't leave you a tip? Then hands me the drink like this, goes like this. I'm like, oh, thank you. No, nothing, no words. Hands me the food. Zero eye contact, zero words. Usually they're like, yeah, have a good day. Nothing. Slams the window shut.
Did a DoorDasher really just message me and ask me to send them an additional tip because I live far away? I'm like 15 minutes from the restaurant that I ordered the food from. First of all, if the order was too far for you, why did you accept it? Second of all, this was a $30 order and I gave them a $10 tip. That's a third of my order. Are you freaking kidding me? And you got the audacity to ask me for more money? And my food was cold.
I kind of think this tipping culture is out of control. I mean, they want to tip for us to pick up our food. They want to tip for us to order our food. I really feel like this tip, I don't even know when to tip anymore. When do you think it's appropriate to tip? Because I'm really confused nowadays on all the things that people want to be tipped for. I don't even know when it's really appropriate anymore. What are your thoughts?
I'm not tipping you for my $10 latte. I'm not tipping you. The tip is included.
Tip's included.
The tip is included.
If I'm ordering with you and you're handing it to me and we're not going anywhere, flip that iPad around.
Flip that shit around.
And don't make me hit no tip.
I hit no tip.
I hit no tip. I just like to be quick about it.
I'm not tipping shit. Not in Trump's
No,
America.
here's a tip. Vote.
So Americans are starting to tip less. A recent Wall Street Journal survey found that Americans were starting to push back on tip prompts for basic transactions and service charges, and overall were just very frustrated with tipping culture, which has always been around in America, at least in the recent history, but has really exploded in the past couple of years, kind of with the rise of those tip screens, etc. And tipping has been around in American culture for quite a while, but in the past couple of years, it has definitely exploded with the proliferation of the tipping screens, just kind of coming out of COVID. And the survey revealed that in response, Americans are starting to have higher standards, to warrant tipping, using cash to avoid the tip screens, or simply tipping less or not at all. And this isn't just about saving money, though I think that is a factor during times of economic uncertainty. I think there is also kind of this psychology piece at play where I think a lot of consumers believe that the traditional boundaries of what deserves a tip has been overextended to transactions that previously didn't include tipping. And a really good example of this is those self-service kiosks where you kind of go and scan the items and then ask for a tip. And understandably, that feels pretty frustrating and annoying that you have to deal with that. And, you know, tipping has normally been guided by widely understood, if not unwritten, rules. And as these norms have become violated on the tipping end of things, you know, tipping has kind of been inserted in places where it wasn't inserted before, people are understandably getting frustrated by that, one. And two, they're also just getting exhausted by having to navigate all these different social expectations that are just rapidly changing around tipping. So that's leading to people to tip less or not at all. And I was saying before, economic pressure definitely plays a role here, but I think it's a little bit more nuanced than just cutting costs. So yes, I think there might be some consumers that are foregoing the tip just to save a couple bucks here and there, but I think we're also seeing a fundamental shift in consumption patterns. So people are eating out less, cooking home at more, etc. It's also really important to point out that tipping has partly been about social signaling and power relationships. And as the power balance shifts between service providers and consumers through technology and changing economic conditions, tipping behaviors will adjust accordingly.
If no one is gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna. If you walk up to me and that toast tab has a pre-selected 25%, I'm clicking no tip. And y'all better shove it, because I was a waitress, I was a bartender, I've worked in the service industry, and I'm well versed with Miss Toast Tab. And never have I ever walked up to a customer and said, well, you tip me 25%. Yesterday, I drove myself to a sandwich shop. I opened the door, I walked to the bar, I placed the order to go. The bartender hands me the Toast Tab, and whoop de motherfucking do, it's on 25%! An arm and a leg. I might as well go get the hairnet, put my apron on, and get my ass back there in the kitchen and make my own sandwich. For you to think that you deserve or trick me, you want to trick me into tipping you 25% for a goddamn sandwich that sucked ass, by the way. Knuckle sandwich in Austin, I'm adding you, because I'm about to give you a knuckle sandwich. I mean restaurants in general. Even waitresses or waiters that do a phenomenal job, and then they come up to the thing and go, yeah, I was gonna ask you a quick question. How freaking arrogant of you to think that's what I would have given you. I don't know. Ridiculous. I'm not doing it. $0.
In this last video, we're going to listen to a waitress's story about not receiving a tip, and we'll close out with some comments from her video.
I asked my table for a tip after they were gonna stiff me. And I don't care how much hate I get for this. Everybody talks about tipping culture this, tipping culture that. No, but let me break it down for you, okay? It's a Saturday night. I'm being told I'm going to get a party of 16, which I said, great, bring it on. Let's go. Easy money. So I thought, okay? So the party of 16 gets sat in my section. They take up 3 tables in my section. So when you get sat at a party, you usually get skipped in rotation a few times because you're dealing with a big party. I get to the table. I introduce myself. I do my whole spiel. Before I'm finished even speaking, one guy's like, whoa, hey, stop. He said, hold on. He said, you're not going to talk to them. You're going to talk to me. I'm going to order everybody's food, and then I'll give you the drinks. I said, okay, perfect. What are we having a drink? He said, no, I'm going to give you the food first, and then I'm going to give you the drinks. I said, okay, perfect. What will you be having? He ordered 6 vegetarian combos, which comes 2 veggie patties, 2 protein pancakes, egg whites, and a side of fruit. He said, but we don't want egg whites. All of the egg whites, change them out for hash browns. On those hash browns, I want you to add jalapenos and onions. Great, let's do that. Then he proceeds to order 7 omelets. 7 omelets, which come with 3 pancakes each. Okay, perfect. After that, when he gives me the drinks, he orders 15 waters, no ice, 14 hot chocolates with whipped cream, and 1 regular coffee with regular milk. Okay, I said, perfect. I've sent in the order for you. He said, and make it quick because we have somewhere to be. That's where I almost lost my shit. Because how do you come out to a restaurant, order 7 omelets, and tell me to hurry up? I said, you know what, sir? There is other people in this restaurant. It probably won't come out as fast as you'd like it to, but we will definitely try our best. Okay? When I tell you that the kitchen got this food out in like that, the kitchen got this food out quick. I had 2 other servers help me run food. We were all carrying a bunch of hot plates. Took it to the table. They got everything that they needed. Before the food got to their table, they all had already napkins, syrup, hot sauce. They had everything that they could have needed to enjoy their meal. So they enjoy their food, whatever. I'm checking on them. They keep saying everything's great. When it came down to give them the check, I gave the check to the guy who was like, oh, I'm going to order everything. I'm going to pay for everything. Okay, great. I gave him the check. The check was $320 with some change. And when it came to pay, he pays me cash. He gives me $321, which means no tip. And I was like, okay. So I went to the table. There's no tip at the table, anything. I said, okay, I'm going to go ask him. So I went up to him. I said, excuse me, sir. You only gave me $321. I just wanted to ensure that this was accurate. You're not going to leave any gratuity. I just wanted to make sure everything came out to your expectations. You enjoyed your food. Everything was to your liking. And, you know, I just want to make sure. He said, well, I didn't know it was mandatory. I said, no, it's not mandatory. I just wanted to ensure that this was accurate, that nobody took the tip off the table or anything like that. This man pulls out a $50 bill, gives it to me, kind of like, here's your tip and shut the fuck up, get out my face type shit, which I don't give a fuck, because how dare you go out to eat in a party of 16 on a tab of $320 and not tip? And I feel like nobody was going to believe me, so I saved the check. I'm going to show y'all. This check is literally half my size. I'm not even playing with you right now. Like, okay, $320, right? Minimum 15% gratuity would have been $48. So he basically just gave me the minimum, which is fine. But if you don't got money to go to tip on your meal, don't even go out to eat. And I'm not talking like, oh, like if you're by yourself and you get a $15 meal, I'm not saying leave $30 tip. No, like not everybody's set up like that. Not everybody knows the industry. But how dare you go out to eat? 16 people, rack up a tab of $320. Be rude to your fucking server. Enjoy your service still and not fuck it. I don't care. I did what the fuck. I don't give a fuck. And my servers, I know y'all felt that shit. Sometimes we just got to sit here and make sure, because I wanted him to admit to me that he wasn't leaving me a tip on a $320 tab. I wanted him to admit to me that he came out to eat with 16 of his friends and family members and decided not to tip. I wanted him to admit it. I would have been fine. Okay, cool. That's the type of person you are. But he gave me my tip, so whatever. But nobody was going to believe me. Look how big this...
Let me break it down for you. You get paid hourly. Tipping is an option. Choose a different line of work. If you can't afford a 0 tip, find another job. I did. I was a server for so many years, and I don't think it's fair to say you shouldn't go out to eat if you can't tip. Families that struggle financially still deserve to treat themselves to something nice, even if they only have enough to cover the bill. The tip should be already added to the check on parties of 6 or more. $15 bill or $300, I'm definitely tipping. Can't stand when people dine in and don't tip. I'm so glad I live in Australia. You are doing your bare minimum job. No one is obliged to tip you. You said it was $320 and some change. He left $321, so you got the change. So what do you think? Has tipping culture spiraled out of control, or are we just overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to include today's secret phrase. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more compilations like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
We'll be right back.